So you've just given us 5 minutes and 18 seconds of advice to someone that's never written a screenplay. If you took that same advice, let's say it's 1995, you're in your cab, you're listening to like Alanis Morissette, I don't know, it's Chicago, you see the woman at the gas station, the pump, which has sparked this idea. You didn't even know it was going to be a thing yet. If somebody had been sort of this Jiminy Cricket in your ear, squeezing in this, well, you've got to know this structure and you need to read this book, do you think you would have abandoned the idea?
I don't know. You know, that's sort of a sad thing to think about, but I think that there's a lot of people that get discouraged today because they do feel like they're doing something wrong. And there is that element out there on the message boards, on podcasts, very popular podcasts that talk about black and white, define things in black and white, and it's dangerous. It's like, you know, people have tried to figure out where this industry is going and where storytelling is going in our culture all the time since I've been working to write screenplays or whatever. And I've seen all the different iterations of like, well, you're not able to write, you shouldn't write anything, period. You shouldn't write anything about the industry. You shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. And all of it's been blown up. You shouldn't write anything. I mean, you know, like an online bookseller, an online bookstore wins like Oscars now. You know, it's like, don't tell me what anything black and white is anymore. So it's dangerous. And so we can talk about like the rules of why people care about movies and like the sort of the laws of emotion. And I think no one's gonna really get freaked out. I think that's sort of organic stuff. But when I started off, I read Michael Haig's book, and but his book, and you know, I don't even remember, I don't think he talked a lot about formulas or beat sheets. He might have talked about, the only thing I remember from Michael's book was encouragement. Like he just empowered, he gave me hope, he definitely encouraged me. And so that's what I always responded to. And I responded, he seemed to have a sense of like, that people, it was rare for something good to be written, but he did find it possible. And there were things that he was very much, it was a hopeful book. So I think that's the only thing I got. I think that was the only screenwriting book that I ever read a lot from. I don't know if I read the whole thing through, but I would often refer to it. But then when I started, I just was like, you know, I literally just, I was like, oh, okay. And I knew something about page 30 and page 60 or whatever. And I sort of tried to follow that, and I didn't find it difficult to remember that something was supposed to happen or something like that. But I was very much on my own, and I wrote whatever, you know. So, but I that's why I think that we, you know, it's very important for people to remember. You don't have to learn the rules to break them. You can just ignore them. If you feel like you're being expressive and something's cool, that you're writing something's cool, and then you start showing it to other people and other people think it's cool, then that's the only thing we care about. Because we would not have any Fellini, we would not have Orson Welles, we probably would not have Kurosawa. You know, eventually people have to stop listening to what people are suggesting. And nowadays, you know, people being told they can't direct, young women, people of color, diverse, you know, voices that are like have been discouraged or whatever. And all those people had to like be like, get out of my face. I want to say what I want to say. And that's the only way we move forward, you know, with this art form, is when people just say, I don't care what I'm supposed to be doing or who's supposed to be directing or who's supposed to be writing. You know, the only time we move forward when people are like, well, let's follow, and on page 23, this is supposed to happen. That's when everyone wants to blow their brains out. It's like, I want something new. And that's why things like streaming and like episodic television did grow, probably in response to formulaic feature writing. It's probably one of the reasons, because people were like, God, can I watch something else that doesn't feel like everything else? And it's because of formula and because people were following what they were supposed to be doing. And it's like, not good.
But some people have sort of a punk rock ethos, and that's in them, and they've been that way all their lives. And others are the one in the front seat of the class that want to raise their hand and be the teacher's pet. And so some people never want to rock the boat, whereas others are fine having people be totally pissed off at them.
It's not about rocking the boat. It's just realizing that emotionally, that audiences don't care about what page number a scene is on. All the audiences are responding to is emotional veracity. They want to be sucked in. They want to feel a part of the universe. People go into it. Have you ever thought about this? People walk into a theater to watch other people on a screen act out stuff from life, and they just watch it. Like, why are they watching it? It's the weirdest thing. When you go into a play in a theater, people are watching people argue on an imaginary stage. We're going to watch people act out life. It doesn't make any, it's like bizarre. But the reason why people are doing it is because it gives them meaning for their struggles. They go, I've done that. That's me. I fought cancer. Something happened to me. I won the state championship. I want to be able to win the state championship. I want to be able to come from nowhere. I want to believe. I want to fall in love. I want to survive the loss of a loved one. This can happen. I saw a story about somebody. I mean, this is why it gives us context, so that we're not walking around going, why am I doing all this? You see the movie and you're like, other people have been dumped. Other people have been fired. Other people have been discriminated against. Other people, there's been injustice. I've suffered injustice. So have they. I can live. I'm going to fight. That's why people go to movies. So that's the only thing anybody cares about. They don't care if, the point of no return happens on page 63 or some crap. So if you're writing from that place, so that's not punk rock. That's just stories. That's storytelling. That's conservative storytelling, liberal, it's not supposed to be political, but I'm just saying, and that's anybody. That's any ethos. That is the ethos. So if you're going to get in the business of the woman, the young lady in the front row who's like the person who gives the apple to the teacher, she better get, this is the business of emotion. It's the business of dealing of human identification with authentic stories. And that's heavy lifting. That requires like sharing of your life experience. It is demanding. It's just as, a surgeon it's emotionally demanding to be a nurse. It's emotionally demanding to be a trash man, because you're like looking at people's trash. You're like, oh my God, they threw out this photo album. I mean, it's like everybody's got to deal with something, and they're like, this is the thing. And it's like, this is the business. This is that business. So you can, you can't get around that. And when people try and get around that, then the great actor becomes the good actor, and the great screenplay becomes an okay movie. But when you go there and you sell the whole thing and you don't shy away, then you're Kurosawa, then you're Eugene O'Neill, then you're writing something, then you're doing 12 Years a Slave, then you're fearless, then you're telling you're doing the thing that people go, that's awesome. Black Klansman, just like, amazing, honest movie, about the truth. It's a great movie, and it's about the truth. And it's like, and it's emotional. It's disturbing. But it's like, but that's where that's Shakespeare. It's never changed. That's not new. That's not like avant-garde or anything. That's just how, and audiences are still responding to it because we're human beings and we still are responding to a good story. So.